Good morning, everybody. Hello, salutations, what it do? Start the game off out the do our gang. You know the vibes, like a scribe. Let's get it. What's up, Original? What's up, James? Gonna give everybody a chance to come through. Welcome to another edition of Super News. We got a fun show today. We got some actually very good games to talk about. What's up, Aqua Show? I was checking the news and I saw some very exciting things. What's up, D-Lo Gaming? What's up, Bobo? Yeah, we got some very exciting Gotham Knights news. The game might be coming out sooner than I feel like a lot of us thought. We got Sly Cooper and Infamous news. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good one. What's up? Best tier on YouTube. I appreciate that. What's up? But will this affect Ghost of Tsushima too? Sadly, I have not heard anything about a Ghost of Tsushima 2, but probably not, or it probably will. I don't know. I don't know how big Sucker Punch is. Can they do multiple games? Honestly, they might. If they can't, they might just be doing. I feel like they must have expanded a little bit. So either they can do multiple games, or maybe they're planning another Ghost of Tsushima expansion rather than a direct sequel. But I, for one, welcome a new Infamous. What's up, Capte? Do-Rag Gang in the building. Simek is the only one you know with like 3 different versions. Yeah, the Simek is, last I checked, they had like 345 employees. So they could definitely do it, but yeah, Sucker Punch might be smaller, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see what they do. But regardless, I am always excited. Smash that like button as usual. Big shout out again to today's sponsor, Fan Dominion. Check them out for the latest and greatest in Marvel, DC, anime, and Star Wars merch. Use code Sadot for 10% off your order. What's up, Lucky Ray Gun? Here, a Superman game in development. I did cover that in a previous show. There was a rumor that they're doing either Superman or a Justice League, because I've heard there was a Superman game at one point that was canceled, but there was a new rumor that there might be a Justice League game in development. So who knows? They don't seem to want to give my boy Superman some love. All right, so we're going to get into the first story. This one is about a game that I, for one, am interested in, just to see how it turns out, because I was excited when I first saw this at the PlayStation reveal. Before I got the PS5, this was one of the games they teased. They just showed a little bit of the open world and the traversal. I was like, oh, that looked cool. What's up? At the time, it was called Project Athia. It's since undergone a change and is now known as Forspoken. Forspoken is currently slated to come out May 24th, 2022, and is definitely a game that I'm looking to check out. However, according to very popular and reliable game leaker account NGT, Forspoken, according to his source, has been delayed. There's not been an official announcement yet. Obviously, it is still slated for the end of May, but according to the source, it has actually been delayed, maybe internally, and he thinks it might officially be announced at the PlayStation event. And for those that don't know, the PlayStation event is rumored to be happening this month. It's going to be some kind of big March state of play, showcasing some different games. We might be getting God of War Ragnarok. There's rumored to be a Hogwarts Legacy presence, including a full trailer. And according to account NGT, part of that showcase is going to be some more information about Forspoken, as well as an official delay announcement. Now, if the game does in fact need to be delayed, then to me, that's a good thing. I mean, obviously for people that want to play it, you know, they're gonna have to wait a little longer. But you know me, I'm an advocate for let the games be finished before they come out. Don't rush to put the game out if it's not done. Give it the time it needs, so that if people are playing full price, they're getting what they paid for. That's all I'm feeling. You're down bad, no Xbox, yikes. Account NTG also had another scoop. As I alluded earlier, there is currently a Sly Cooper and a new Infamous game in development. Now, old school PlayStation fans know what's up, Jay Showblast. Sly Cooper, Infamous, very, very popular game franchises. Sly Cooper definitely more of a throwback, and people have been wondering, when are they coming to next gen? You know, when are we going to get a new version of them? Yeah, the PlayStation 1. I think we all had a PlayStation 1, Jay. So if this is true, I'm definitely looking forward to both. I'll definitely check out both, but I'm more excited for Infamous. Sucker Punch is one of my favorite studios in the entire world, and I cannot wait to get some next gen Infamous action. That would be absolutely insane. Sly Cooper was fantastic. I loved it as well, but both of them I'm looking forward to. But Infamous, that's my jam. I love Cole. That game goes very hard, and if we could get a PS5 version of that, please and thank you. I will be all over it. So that was week last. Yeah, I'm happy to be alive after Marvel's Avengers tried to kill me yesterday. Now, Gotham Knights. So we had a combination of stuff that when combined, makes it seem like Gotham Knights might be closer than we think. Like, for some reason, I was thinking Gotham Knights is going to be coming out at like maybe the end of the year or maybe September. It wasn't even crossing my mind. But a Irish gaming store had this prominently showcased in their store, coming soon, 4/24 Gotham Knights. Now, I'm personally skeptical. That date is probably a placeholder, but does seem weird that if a game that you would have a placeholder coming soon next month for a game that is coming out maybe late in the year. On top of that, we had a confirmed Gotham Knights playtest went up on Steam. Just released on March 4th. So it seems like at the very least, the game might be pretty close to an actual release, maybe closer than we think. So while I don't know if it's going to drop, next month with the Lego Star Wars, it does seem like it could be in the next few months. Maybe it drops in May. Maybe it drops in June. Who knows? I'm very doubtful that it's going to be releasing April 24th. That seems way too soon for Gotham Knights to come out based on the build, just looking at the build up, you know, it's been a while since we've even really seen anything substantial. You know, maybe they'll surprise us at the PlayStation showcase. But personally, I would, if I were betting money, I'd say mid-May, June, possible for Gotham Knights. I'm not at all expecting it to come out in April. That feels like way too soon. And I'm thinking Ragnarok is going to be summer as well, but we might actually be getting a Ragnarok release date with the PlayStation event, but we will have to see. We'll see at the next DC fandom. Oh God, no. And finally, let's go into Marvel's Avengers. Yesterday, there was a dev stream, the first dev stream in, I believe, what was it, 3 months? It's definitely been a while. Aqua's favorite game, of course. They had a dev stream where they mainly focused on gear. This is all part of the rollout of information for patch 2.3, which is an upcoming quality of life patch coming to the game sometime this month. I predicted it probably will be the 8th or the 15th, so they can promote it a little bit, give us some more information. And we got a blog and a stream that was mainly focused on gear. And there are some changes coming to the gear. They're going to be, we got more information on a variety of different parts of that patch. And the big thing from yesterday was that they're changing a lot of stuff about gear. So we're going to recap all that real quick. So for off the bat, the damage buff is in fact getting a nerf, but also not really. So a little while ago, Alex was talking in the Discord. Alex is the gear guy for Marvel's Avengers, and he said that they're going to be in the future doing something with damage buff. He don't like it. So people were like, "Oh my God, damage buff is getting nerfed. Oh, they nerf everything," you know, that whole thing. And then we finally got some clarity in the stream yesterday about what exactly they're going to do. So Alex said that damage buff, he explained what it does, gives you a 65% damage increase, flat damage increase. He said straight up he doesn't like it, but they're not going to do anything about the damage increase, which feels to me like they responded to the backlash like of his comment, and they decided, oh, we're going to compromise on this one because we don't want Tachyon Surge all over again. So even though Alex clearly does not like the damage buff, and not nerfing the damage completely defeats the purpose of a nerf to begin with, because the whole reasoning for nerfing damage buff is because it's the best in slot. It is a perk that is far away the best in the game. It's a must-have on pretty much every build. You have to have a damage buff somewhere on your build to be the most effective in terms of firepower, and there's nothing that can compete with it. And the idea was that, okay, they're going to tune down the damage buff so that other perks can be buffed and people can do that instead, rather than having to deal around damage. So instead, Alex said, okay, well, the other thing damage buff does is increases crit chance and increases impact. So crit chance, of course, is the chance that you will land a crit, and impact relates to being able to interrupt enemy attacks. So Alex said, okay, as a compromise, we're going to leave the damage buff. We're going to get rid of the crit chance and the impact. And then he's doing something similar to the Nornstone of Lethal Will. He's removing the crit chance bump, but he's boosting the damage buff aspect of it as a result. So in order to compensate for losing out on that inherent crit chance from the damage buff, you're going to have to stack some proficiency on your build, or, you know, just play Thor who gets guaranteed crits. Either one of those things. But essentially, if you're a Thor main, you're going to, because of the changes to the damage buff, you're not going to notice anything in regards to the crit chance, because you guarantee crits. And because of, if you combine with the Nornstone, then the buff they're giving to the Nornstone, you're actually going to be doing more damage, I believe. So Thor mains, we still eating. So Thor mains still eating. So maybe this unpopular character Thor will get some love finally from players, now that he's finally getting a buff. So finally, it is Thor's time to shine. In addition, Thor is also getting a change to one of his gear perks on the Cinctor piece, where you extend the duration of Warrior's Fury with each enemy you defeat. So if you're a Thor player, Jay Shieldblast, myself, you're gonna be eating good with this new update. There's a big list of perk changes. They're adding new perks, they're changing new perks, they're moving around gear, and it's part of this whole kind of change to the daily aspect of gear of the game. They're trying to make it a little more palatable, more new player friendly. And part of that is they're going to be changing the war table, making it more streamlined and easy and clear to pick missions, as well as bringing back Nick Fury for the helicarrier, as well as for the, well, definitely for the Reigning Supreme mission chain. If you remember that from when you first did the campaign, Nick Fury is going to be guiding you on this path, and it seems like this was specifically geared towards newer players, so everything is a lot more clear. So that's going to be part of the update. Nick Fury is supposedly going to have some kind of story component explaining how he's back. They wouldn't go into details about it, but there is going to be something explaining his reappearance, but mainly he's there for the improvements to the war table, Reigning Supreme mission chain, and new player experience. They're also bringing back elite villain sectors. If you've been playing for a while, you probably remember those. You used to have your normal villain sector and your elite villain sector on the maps. The elite villain sectors were always there. So if you needed some DNA keys, you could just beat up Abomination over and over again, you know, Taskmaster, whatever, and that was it. Then they removed elite villain sectors from the map with no real reason, and we didn't hear from them about it for a while. And now looks like they're finally ready to bring it all back, and they're combining that with changes to the vault missions. So before the patch, as you know, if you wanted to do a vault, you could complete it, but it would disappear from your map. And in order to get the vault back, you would have to go to a mission that has shield caches. You have to find the shield cache, go in, open the chest, get the coordinates, and that would unlock the vault on your map. People would pretty much just use Day of Remains in the Pacific Northwest, get their key if they had to do it. But mainly people at this point were just using the vaults to farm units. The current best unit farm in the game is just to put the difficulty on challenge 4, go to the Snowy Tundra vault, fly around, open the right chests, collect the units, and leave. As long as you didn't leave, as long as you didn't complete the vault, it stayed on the map. So that's pretty much what everyone did. So they're changing all of that so that now the vaults and the villain sectors are supposedly going to stay on the map. Now there was some other stuff about the update that I found out yesterday that I can't say, but there's going to be more information coming about patch 2.3 probably in the next week, I'm guessing, because I think it looks like it's most likely coming out probably on the 15th, but we'll see about that. but they're adding more things basically to do daily, and they're going to basically incentivize you to play these villain sectors and these vaults now. So one change they're making is they're improving your unit grind. If you're a unit grinder, what's up? You can now add DNA chests to your farm run, because currently DNA chests are only dropping right now comics and some gear. They used to drop upgrade modules and then they changed it. So now they're going to be dropping units from the DNA chest. So you can go in, farm the vault missions, and in addition to the regular chests that drop units, you're going to be going to DNA chests as well. So start collecting those DNA keys. Also, the villain sectors and the vaults are going to be having some of this new gear. So they're giving you some targeted farming. They have specific gear sets for these missions, for the vaults and the villain sectors. You're going to have the normal villain sectors, the elite villain sectors, normal vaults, elite vaults, and they're going to be tied to mission chains that are going to be both daily and weekly. And the mission chains will give you a chance at getting an exotic version of the gear sets. And they have the full list of gear sets in the blog, as well as changes they're making. Now, there was some confusion yesterday. They said in the blog that the mission giver would only be giving out one vault per day and one elite vault per week, but I got some clarity that what they meant is that the mission chain that they're going to be giving out is going to be once per day for the normal, once per week for the weekly. So they're still going to be staying on the map. Villain sectors, for the most part, are going to be staying on the map. You can farm them over and over again if you want to get that gear that is going to be dropping. And some of the pieces are legitimately pretty good that you're going to definitely want to farm for them. Some characters are definitely getting some significant boosts. For example, Kamala is now going to be able to deal status damage on her signature attacks. And if you play Kamala, her signature attack is that intrinsic spin, which if you could do status would be insane. Now you can. So Kamala is definitely on the winning end. Every character is getting the same thing. They're getting their hero set pieces. They're going to have perks either removed and replaced with something else, or tweaked, and they have the full list. They have it they tweeted out the link to the blog that has all of this, but as many of you saw yesterday, that link was broken, but they posted it in the subreddit as well. and you can read it in the Play Avengers subreddit as well. But that's essentially what it does. They're bringing you targeted farming so that you can do the vault, so that you have a reason to actually complete the vaults and complete the villain sectors, and you have another chance at an exotic. Now, the main problem there, of course, is that that's all good, but what about progression? Well, progression past 160 is still unfortunately tied to the elite raid, and progression up to 160 is still tied to the normal raid and the OLT. They did say Alex and Brian are working on ideas for how to allow solo players to get a path to 175 so that they're not forced to play the elite raid. This is not something that will be in patch 2.3. It probably won't be in patch 2.4. Could be in patch 2.5. We'll see. But they are officially willing to look at giving solo players a way to get to 175 without having to play the elite raid. So that is good, but hopefully that they do that sooner rather than later. Now, in terms of the Mega Hive, the other change is that the Mega Hive rewards are going to be now per hero instead of per account. Not a big deal. They really should have just made the Mega Hive give you gear that gets you to 160 at least. That would have solved a lot of the solo player problems, but it is what it is. They're still not doing it. So we're going to have to wait and see what the solution they end up coming up with is going to be. But in the meantime, the path to 175 is still the same, but raid should, in theory, be a little better, easier to deal with. They're adding the checkpoint system, and they explain that some of the checkpoints are going to be after the Sonic Wall, as well as the Forge, and I believe the anti-metal room. Unfortunately, the Sound Wall is still kind of a problem. They said that they think they've identified the problem with the Sound Wall, but the problem is they can't. It's apparently related to a networking problem, and apparently they're having a difficult time replicating all of the potential issues. So some stuff in the raid just might not be able to fix. And based on the type of networking issue, it's something that I don't think they can actually fix, because it seems to be foundationally tied to how they have their servers for this game set up. So hopefully they fix the sound wall bug so people can actually progress past it in order to get that first piece of gear in the checkpoint system. But for now, it seems like if they don't have the fix for it, some people might not get it. That's just going to be this. But they did say they're going to fix some other stuff, like a faultless buff. If you noticed it on the gear in the raid, it's on the range slot. It says it seems the way it's written, it seems to indicate it applies to range attacks. It says it's on a range piece, but it only works on melee attacks. And they changed the text to clarify it's just going to be for melee. They're also going to be fixing Spider-Man's raid gear. It currently does not work with his chest piece, which is supposed to grant you status damage based on the statuses listed on the range piece. So that's supposed to be fixed. They're going to have some more fixes, presumably. Hopefully those fixes actually stick. Overall, sounds like is going to be a pretty decent and much needed quality of life update. A lot of this stuff sounds like it's going to be, some people are speculating it could be they're gearing towards a free to play switch, because a lot of these changes seem to be improving the foundation of the game and making it more appealing to new players, which they need to do anyway. I don't know if that necessarily means they are definitely moving to free to play, but that definitely would be a step if they're going to go in that route. So now let me check the chat, see what I missed. Gotham Knights is not next gen only. That is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Gotham Knights will be on previous as well. If you missed the previous stories, Forspoken might be delayed. It's currently listed as coming out in May, but there's a source saying it might be delayed and it will be announced at the PlayStation event that's supposed to be happening this month. Sly Cooper and Infamous games are currently reportedly in development for next gen, which is very exciting. And Gotham Knights looks like it may be closer to release than we thought. There was a playtest of it posted, and it seems like they are potentially getting closer and closer to a release. Hopefully it has a presence at the PlayStation event, or we get an announcement soon, because it is one of my most hyped games of the year and I cannot wait to play it. Forspoken, I think is definitely going to be delayed. We'll see. If it is delayed, good on them, because I'm tired of playing games that aren't finished. Do any of you Avengers streamers play Xbox at all, or only PlayStation? You have both, but don't want to grind to get your PS5 caught up with your Xbox. I play exclusively on PlayStation 5. Jay Shockblast has played on Xbox, but he frequently plays on PlayStation. I believe Bob Duckenweed plays on PC. I can't even think of anyone that actually does play on Xbox right now off the top of my head. If it went free to play, we would have to pay for DLC. In theory, yes. They would have to change up the monetization so that they can support a free to play model. Because I mean, right now the game is pretty cheap and it is still available, I believe, on Game Pass. But yeah, if they went full free to play, they definitely would not be able to sustain it with the current model. They would have to improve the quality of the marketplace overall in terms of what they offer. They would have to sell more items. They would have to change the challenge card system to make it a monthly battle pass. And yes, they would probably be charging for DLCs or at the very least new characters. If they go free to play, they should give everyone who bought the game 1,400 credits for free. I mean, that seems pretty cheap, but okay. Don't think they're gonna do that. Reeling streams Xbox sometimes. Yeah, I legit don't have no idea. Everybody I know plays PlayStation. But anyone in the chat that does play on Xbox, yeah, definitely link up. They need all the help they can get. They also not get the Tachyon Surge gear. Are you having problems with the Cosmic Surge event? I actually just got the targeted buff with Thor. I'm very excited. I was so excited. I was farming for it yesterday on Twitch, and I didn't get it on stream, but I farmed, after everything with the dev streamer was over, and I got it. I got my god roll. You actually excited for the March update? It seems good. If it works. If it works. Now in terms of content, people are, wondering, okay, the March update is fine. Where's the roadmap? When's the next character? You play the main challenges, but didn't give you the gear. Yikes. I would definitely load a backup save to before you completed them, and just hold for a bit. But yeah, if the update releases, it's fine. But I think after the update comes out, that's when we'll start getting towards, okay, roadmap promotion. Because right now it sounds like they still don't have approval for the roadmap. Which means they're probably still finalizing everything. There is a lot of bureaucracy involved, believe it or not. But I think after patch 2.3, then sometime after that we'll get an announcement for a date. But it does seem like She-Hulk will be out in the next few months. Seems like they're following the same schedule as last year. A little behind in terms of the characters, last year, but last year was a bit different. So Kate Bishop and Hawkeye were supposed to come out in the same year. Hawkeye ended up getting pushed out of 2020 entirely. So when we hit the new year, we heard nothing from them. Then they announced the war table for February. Then that February war table announced a release date for Hawkeye, and then that Hawkeye DLC dropped with the roadmap at the event. Now we don't have the next character yet officially. We don't have any war tables, but we do have a patch. We do know they're working on a roadmap, so it could end up still. Well, we may end up getting a hero the month after, and the roadmap the same month. That's very much possible. Other way around. Yeah, other way around. Gotham Knights is on PS4 and all that good stuff. Suicide Squad is next gen exclusive. Put out hope for Bucky. They need to stop dropping games for old gen. So the problem with dropping old gen game, the reason why old gen games are still coming out, getting support, is because of scarcity. There's still a chip shortage, so it's hard for people to get their hands on these new consoles, even still. And until that shortage, is overcome, there's still a market for previous gen customers because there are still people that don't have those next gen consoles. So it's in their best interest to maximize sales by still providing versions of their new games for those platforms. Do I think Moon Knight could be a hero due to the show coming out this year? I do not, because he has not been in active development. Officially, Suicide Squad is still coming out this year. Unofficially, it is delayed until 2023. They have not officially released a statement. Do I think Marvel's Avengers should have been delayed another year? Definitely. Where was the infamous news? Check out account NGT on Twitter. He is a great source for game leaks and news. Definitely check that out. So asking for Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, 95% chance of it happening. 100% chance of it not happening, at least this year. If the game continues to get support into 2023, then literally everything's on the table. Relatively. Doctor Strange, at least the characters that are on the data mine list, the original one, are definitely on the table if the game gets support into 2023, which would include Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Vision, but the game has to make it into 2023. Hope Gotham Knights comes out in June so you could take time off in summer for it. Absolutely. I mean, if it's ready, I would absolutely love it for it to come out next month. Well, I mean, I don't think it is, but people need to stop asking for a new hero that has to fix this game. Or they can, it's fine. It's fine to ask for both, but yeah, there's definitely a misconception that the one thing the game is missing is new heroes, and that's definitely not the case. Too many people talking shit on Xbox. You have the game on Series X. I mean, for the most part, people are embracing the console war thing in this chat, as a joke. It's, most definitely not me. I don't take it seriously, along with a bunch of other people. We just find it funny that it's usually the Xbox players that come in and get the most emotional about, the whole PlayStation versus Xbox thing. But like I said before, I think competition between them is good for us gamers. I think the console war should be embraced, but in a non-toxic way, because as long as both companies are competing against each other, they're going to keep trying to make better products, which benefits us, the consumers. Once one wins, then they can get complacent and start ignoring us and what we want, and start just kind of living off their past success and just doing the bare minimum that they need in order to keep the customers flowing. So you never want the monopoly, you always want the competition. I think that's why they probably delayed the roadmap, because it changes with the timeline. I think the roadmap legit was delayed because they didn't have the content ready. most likely. And they didn't want to have a situation like last year where they have stuff on the roadmap that they can't deliver. You want Gotham on your birthday? That would be the best present. Since it's June 11th, nice. Not to mention the devs already said engine limitations are what's keeping them from making any big overhauls to Traversal. Yeah, that's definitely a part of it. Yeah, I mean the game engine this game was built on is not good for this type of genre of game. But on top of that, having to support previous gen is definitely another factor. Xbox hasn't seen a hero since August. That is true. You're gonna have to wait a little longer. So traversal definitely, I mean, is for sure. I could tell you 100% not a priority, but there are definitely ways they can fix traversal, even within the limitations. Because they show with Spider-Man, it's possible to make a character not completely slow. And that came from the fact that they designed Spider-Man to be that way. But because whoever, or the original team with the other characters, for whatever reason, they didn't have the foresight to make sure those non-flyers also had really dynamic traversal. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any realistic way to significantly update them. So let's just hope that the new heroes that are coming out will have better traversal. Devs are lying about traversal. They could have been fixed. That's not true. That's why I think the roadmap isn't happening this year. I think the roadmap is definitely happening this year. Is patrol mode ever coming? Cloning labs? Cloning labs is a myth. Patrol mode, a very, very big maybe. Do I play Final Fantasy or Borderlands? I have played Final Fantasy in the past. I never played Borderlands before, but if I do get a copy of Tiny Tina sent to me, I have applied for it. I'll cover it on the channel. If not, I will not. Think the truth that the game already bugs out simply loading 4 players in an elevator. Imagine Black Panther Cap actually ran as fast as they're supposed to. Yeah. Need something big and groundbreaking in this game. You feel as though if you come up with it, it definitely change the game. Definitely don't expect anything groundbreaking. I'll tell you that. Expect it, best case, to kind of just maintain, just kind of, a couple of heroes a year, a couple updates, just kind of moving along. Free to play, just moving along. See Aqua, he's probably getting ready for No Man's Sky. Clone that was right around the corner. You're right. All right, Ross. It's weeks away. How do you download a save if you're on PlayStation 5 like me? I think it might work on PS4, but I only know it on PS5. You just click on the game, and it should be a drop down list of options, and one of them is to upload your save. If you watch my previous videos that I've done, the live streams I did this week about god roll farming, I'm pretty much doing that the entire time. You're doing amazing. Continue this and you'll be better than everyone. Thank you for being so kind. You're welcome. Appreciate it, Doctor. Yeah, I hope they do wrap up I hope they do continue the Loki storyline, because Thor, out of all the iconic mission chains, Thor's was definitely the most interesting, and we definitely need a Loki OLT or a villain sector. How did I know Gotham Knights was on PS4 and Suicide Squad was exclusive to PS5? So to clarify again, Gotham Knights is available on they're both multi-platform games. They're not platform exclusives. when Gotham Knights was promoting itself, they said they will be available on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, all that good stuff. And Suicide Squad, during their last gameplay reveal, said that they would exclusively be available on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S, Series X. So I still think Avengers is ending this year. If I had to put money on it, yes. But it's going to depend on the roadmap. I got to see the roadmap. I got to see how it plays out. But if I was a betting man, I'd say Captain Marvel closes this out in December. But if Square Enix, sees enough progress and likes and thinks they can, still make some good money, then I see this game going free to play and then getting at least another year of development. But it's going to depend on, the biggest thing is not going to be the heroes, because we all know there's not going to be a massive hero, on the level of Spider-Man that's coming out this year to bring in a bunch of eyeballs, and that's not going to help anyway. What's going to determine this game's future is how well they're able to continue monetizing the marketplace. So look out for, improvements to, say, the challenge card system. If you start seeing some optimization with the marketplace, some increase in monetization, that's one step that'll help. But also the foundation of the game, you're seeing they're making a lot of changes with the geared towards new players, because what they probably noticed with War for Wakanda is a bunch of people came to the game to play Black Panther, and then they left very shortly after that. So what they want to do is make sure when they get new players, they want to stay on the game, which would apply to existing players as well. So they're going to continue making these quality of life changes. If they're good, if they work, then I can start seeing a case for free to play. They'll have a Loki character design, a voice actor. Yeah, but they can obviously, do that. That's not, hard. It's not that hard. They can obviously make a Loki villain sector if they wanted to, but obviously they're prioritizing. The next big solo villain drop is going to be Ultron. That's what they've been gearing towards. So we'll get that Ultron. Hopefully we get more villains down the line. Who I think the mystery character is, and when do you think we will get them? As has been previously reported, the mystery character is supposed to come out before She-Hulk. When, we don't know. As far as who, I'm unclear if I'm supposed to be talking about it. I heard that people were freely talking about it. I retweeted High Ruler talking about Yelena as a mystery character. It's definitely narrowed down. I will say that, but I'm not 100% clear if I'm supposed to be talking about who the mystery character is. So I gotta talk to Miller again. But right now it's out there that it's Yelena. And if it end up not being Yelena, there are if you watch my previous videos, you can narrow it down who the potential is, because it's not that many. The only thing about Ultron is more robots. I get it, but it is Ultron, so I'll be cool with it. So playing movies. In terms of skins, yeah, they still have a lot of MCU skins they could go with. But yeah, I'm definitely glad we're getting a shift towards comic books. Because remember, it's not only are there still a bunch of MCU skins still that they haven't touched yet, Marvel is still releasing new stuff. And again, as has been noted, they haven't really touched the comic book stuff like that. So they have plenty of skins they can choose from. You doubt they would do this with BP, but the last two skins for MCU is T'Chaka and Killmonger. They could absolutely do those. They've said they had no problem with potentially doing villain skins. I mean, we literally have a villain skin. We have Maestro Hawk, so they could definitely do that. Yeah, if they need MCU skins, I'm sure they're gonna try to get every single one they can. Just upload a save from months ago. Upload it. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to upload your current save for your save game to the cloud if you're on PlayStation. So whatever your current game, that's your current session, it should save that current session so that when you go into the game, you're right where you left off. How's the Guardians of the Galaxy? It's one of the best games of the last few years. I had a ton of fun. It was an amazing game. What's up? What's up? You missed the recap. You missed I think this is my second dev stream recap. You missed the Gotham Knights story. It looks like it's coming out sooner than we might have thought. Sly Cooper and Infamous have games for next gen in development, and Forspoken looks like it is getting delayed. Do I think they're getting consistent comic skins? It seems like they're definitely looking at that. It definitely seems like they took the feedback to heart and are going to be looking at high quality comic skins instead of exclusively MCU skins. Comic skin sales are not touching MCU skin sales. That's definitely not true at all. Like, I'm sorry, that's not true at all. This is a Marvel game. People are going to get skins on their favorite Marvel character if they look cool. There are a bunch of people that love the MCU stuff in Iron Man, but I'm seeing the Fear itself, Iron Man, all over the place. it's not at if they have there are a lot of comic book fans. There are a lot of MCU fans. They're definitely going to be making good money off these comic skins as well as MCU skins, depending on how they look. Missed specialty skins should pop up on cosmetic vendors. Yeah, I'm wondering what I have to find out what exactly they're planning on doing with those. Because it seems like they should definitely do something with them. I know they have to bring the specialty items back around eventually, because they actively said they're trying to steer away from too much FOMO. So they have to have some kind of plan for them. If the comic skins going forward look as good as the Fear itself, then I wouldn't worry. Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. You know how much money Future Revolution has made off of skins, and most of them aren't MCU. Most of those skins in that game are comic book. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you talking about? People love Marvel. They love comic stuff. It would exist. MCU would exist without it. Like, they're way more skins in the comics than in the MCU, and most of the stuff a lot of stuff in the comics are way better looking than the stuff in the MCU. Like, it's crazy if you don't think they're going to make money off of that. Are we still expecting the expansion to come at the end of this year? If it doesn't get delayed, yeah, Captain Marvel should be out with her expansion. I would guess the end of the year. Future Revolution skins also have buffs that make your character OP, and they also have skins that don't make your character OP. People still buy them because they look cool, and you can apply that to literally every Marvel mobile game. Bro, you know how Marvel mobile games make stupid amounts of money, and all of them aren't pay to win. Like, people, you understand, Future Revolution has two very distinct classes of players. You have people that play for the PvP, which is exclusively pay to win, which is where you need the OP armors and stuff. And then you have people who are free to play, who do the PvP, the PvE stuff, and are just super casual. They're not buying skins for the OP stuff that only works if you're pay to win and doing PvP. They spend the money because they look cool. That's been the case with every Marvel game that sells skins. Like, I thought this was common knowledge, but people buy a lot of stuff if it's Marvel. If it's Marvel, if it looks cool, they can run around their character, they will buy it. That's been the case forever. like it's the no-brainer, bro. What's up, Black King? You just must on news. We're just talking about Avengers right now and random stuff. You spent 50 on that game, then refunded and kept all your skins. Fortnite is a good example of how much money skins can make for a game. Exactly. like people love these IPs. They're attached to these characters, and they will happily spend money on them. Like, Fortnite has made a ton of money off of Marvel skins, and most of them are from the comic books. So I'm gonna be no expansion. Yeah. It'll be an expansion like Black Panther War for Wakanda was the expansion. You know, you might get a new biome. You'll get some new enemy types. You know, some new story missions. It's not gonna. I'm not expecting like a real expansion. Think they should focus more on more on comic book skins rather than MCU skins. I think they should. I think they can do. I think they can do both, but I definitely think they should start focusing more on at least now, because they've done a lot of MCU stuff, and I think there's definitely an appetite for comic books, as we saw with this new Iron Man skin. Excited for the Kree faction? I am too. I'm excited for Captain Marvel. Another flyer, should be very powerful, and some non-robots. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I hope she doesn't get delayed. That would be disappointing. Look at us arguing about skins. I mean, I'm talking about very different things. I've been talking about content. I mean, I spent a lot of time actually talking about content. I talked about other games. I'm just having this particular conversation with you because you in particular are obsessed with skins. I've been talking about different stuff with different people, including content as well as fixes and the previous updates. But so if you're done being obsessed with skins, we can definitely talk about something else. But the only reason we were continuing is because you, for some reason, didn't understand that people buy comic book skins for Marvel games. content doesn't exist. I mean, that's literally untrue. The content does exist. It's just not released. Do you think they literally have not made anything? Like, like we literally have leaks. We know the stuff exists. It's just not out yet. Like, what are you talking about? They use that word expansion, but they should just name it the character name and that's it. One of them in the chat. The content is there. You just can't. I mean, yeah, literally. Do you not understand how release schedules work? That's like saying that Gotham Knights doesn't exist. It's not. Oh, it's not out yet. Oh, it's a game that you can't play. Oh, it's not out. It doesn't exist. Oh. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Stop being weird. I guess. I guess Suicide Squad could Justice League doesn't exist. I get. There's no Wolverine. There's no Marvel's Wolverine gameplay. There's no Spider-Man 2 gameplay. I guess those games don't exist, and Insomniac have just been holding their dicks in their hand for the last couple of years because it's not out yet. I guess it doesn't exist. I guess no game exists unless it's out. Nothing exists unless it's out. And what a brilliant philosophical point. If you literally don't have it, does it exist? If you can't see it with your touch it and play it with Cheeto dust on your fingers, does it really exist? Like, what are you talking about, bro? What? It doesn't exist? What do you mean? It literally does. Yo, these people are hilarious, yo. That's actually this is actually hilarious. You're right. It's hysterical. Shilling the hardest. all of the shilling. We just learned something very important today. If it's not out, it doesn't exist. We just gotta assume that if we hear a game is in development, it don't exist. Liar, it doesn't exist. How dare you? If it exists, why isn't it on my console right now? Huh? Answer me that. People don't buy comic book skins in this billion-dollar industry. What? Bro, these hot takes, bro. What? Who buys comic book skins in a Marvel game? You're crazy. What? What? Just can't wait to see the roadmap place we go. Oh, I'm sure it will make all your dreams come true. Yo, just reload checkpoint and forget all this. Oh my god. Oh crap, it's after 1 o'clock. We got the member only Discord game session. If you guys still want to do that, it's time for it to do that. I'll be getting out of here. I'll see you guys probably on Twitch at some point this weekend. If you want to hop over there, Sadot the Gamer on Twitch. I'm probably streaming at some point tonight. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing